Welcome to Badger Beer Hour for May 2024. We've got a great show for you tonight. We've got news, of course, events. We've got an interview with Tim Sullivan from Low Daily Brewing. Beer Travels with Joel. He's also got a brewery report for us, and so much more. But first, here's the news. Hey, Greg.
Hi, Landon.
How's it going?
Good day. It's great.
Good.
Great.
All right.
Let's jump right in here.
Let's do it.
So, we don't have that much news, but we have some fun news here. Take it away.
All right. The Museum of Beer and Brewing opens in Milwaukee. Who knew that we needed a museum of beer and brewing? I mean, it sounds fun, right?
Yeah.
And why not in Milwaukee?
Yes. Coming from our friends at CBS 58 in Milwaukee. We've cut and pasted their little clip here, and Landon's going to tell us a little bit more about what's going on.
Yeah, so there's a spot to learn all about beer and brewing in case you don't know enough about it, which I think there's probably a lot of us that don't know enough. It's a culmination of 24 years of work by the Wisconsin Historical Society. That's a long time. They finally found a location for their collection of beer history artifacts, and it's at the Lincoln Warehouse. I guess it's the only beer museum in Milwaukee, which also seems odd. But yeah, so for those of us that know, and I didn't grow up in Wisconsin, but obviously Wisconsin has a lot of beer history. Schlitz, Pabst, Blatz, Gettleman, Miller. We're not even scratching the surface with all of that. There's so many other breweries and beers that have played a role in the history of brewing. So yeah, they had a soft opening already. Grand opening is going to happen later this summer. Visitors can check it out now and see oil paintings from 1935 depicting the history of brewing, as well as a beer Hall of Fame display. Yeah. Lincoln Warehouse is home to 3 brewers too. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Tozala, Component.
Okay.
And the other one, Joel's going to tell us. So I've never been there, Landon. That's why when you go to a place that it kind of insinges into your memory. This is one of my places that I have to go to next time I'm in Milwaukee, and I've been itching to go. And now that there's a museum for brewing there, I'm ready to go here.
New Barons.
See. Yes,
New Barons is the third.
Says New Barons, and I knew I was going to be angry at myself because I love New Barons beer.
Yeah.
Just never visited those. All 3 of them combined though, and then with this, I mean, it's a one stop, y'all. It's a stop there. Y'all got to hit in Milwaukee. So
you'll be there all day.
Yeah. Any more details you wanna cover here, quick before we move on?
No, I think that's it looks about it. I think we covered most of it. Go check it out when it's their grand opening later this summer. Stay tuned for that.
Yep. I think they soft opened it, but they're going to do a grand opening, and it looks like they're only open on Fridays and Saturdays at this point. So I would Google them and check their website for more details. But even if they're not open, you still got 3 really, really good breweries up in that one little place there. Right. So and I think there's other stuff in there too. I'm not sure, but yeah. So that's a fun little piece, and yes, we need that. I think that brings us to Wisconsin to 2 museums of beer in Wisconsin. And I don't know, maybe we need Joel to track that too at this point.
Yeah. We'll have to go visit.
Y'all out of control here. So here's another one I'm kind of excited for. Is Pilot Project has a new partnership here.
So I'm not good with Spanish names. So I know it's Mexico City Brewery Cerveceria. I got nothing after that. So they're expanding their U.S. Partnership with Pilot Project Brewing. Those of you at home, I'm sorry if you don't have good glasses, just put them on and maybe you can figure out how to pronounce that. I'll
I need mine.
I'll
be right
I'll
back.
butcher it. So they're expanding they're expanding to the U.S. this spring in partnership with Chicago-based brewery incubator Pilot Project Brewing. We all know about Pilot Project. We've talked about them before on previous shows. So the team behind Cerveceria, is rethinking Mexican beers. So with a global, progressive, and multicultural perspective, from an exploration of Mexican traditional brewing history to an almost culinary dive into fruits, spices, woods, barrels, bugs, and bacteria. Yeah. They're less about Frida Kahlo and luchador masks and lean more into Enrique Olivero, Octavio Paz, Alfonso, and Guillermo del Toro. That one I got. They take inspiration from both the cosmopolitan streets of Roma Norte and Condesa in Mexico City to the coastal cliffs and vineyards of Baja California. So, for those of you that don't know about Mexican beer too, lean heavy into German, big German influence.
Yeah. Wow. Quick note on this is why I was loving when I heard the project was coming up here to and I believe that this is I believe Joel confirmed on I think their Instagram page that some of this will be coming to Milwaukee, so we won't have to go down to Chicago. We were told when we talked to the people at Pilot Project that they want to mirror things between Chicago and Milwaukee, so you could almost almost say, hey, if it's going to be in Chicago, it's going to be up here. But this is what I really loved about the idea of when Pilot Project came here and why they're so important in Landon is because it comes down to diversity, and really the diversity is in taste, and these different diverse backgrounds are able to bring different tastes and flavors from where their heritage comes from to put in a beer and to have like different terroirs and stuff like that. So things that we will probably never Landon, are you still there? Oh yeah, okay. It's a little hazy.
Am I back now? I can't.
Yeah, I'm having a little problems too, so maybe it may be on my end. But my point is that a lot of these diversely owned breweries bring a different kind of flavor and taste to the market, and not in a necessarily lactosey or over fruity way. And some of the things, you know what I mean?
Right.
They bring ingredients from for example, some black owned breweries bring use African hops and stuff like that. So that brings a different kind of beer. So this is just really what I kind of expected out of Pilot Project. I didn't know they were going to be literally partnering with Mexican breweries, but this kind of thing is really exciting, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Everybody loves a good Mexican lager, but I mean, everybody loves Mexican food. So why Mexican beer should just fall in line. So this is very exciting. We'll have more on this when it comes out, and we will be sending Joel and Chris there, and I'll send myself there, damn it, for this. So this is going to be great. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. Good times. So anything more before we move
on? No, just thanks to Brewbound for that story.
Yes sir.
Yeah.
This one here, we don't have much details on, but you could read the headline and give me what you think about it.
So we've talked about in the past about the new state laws, the new alcohol laws, and all of that, and we figured at some point there would be some movement, and this seems to be the biggest, newest movement. So New Glarus is gonna distill, possibly.
Yeah. I mean, there's really nothing else to say about this. They're looking at it. Deb says, I think this article we don't have access to. I didn't have access to the article, so I couldn't get into it.
Right.
But it was beyond a paywall. But Deb generally is talking about continuing to push things for New Glarus, and we all want to see that as New Glarus fans. That's
Yeah.
something that they've been doing forever, so there's no surprise there. Deb also talked. She also slipped in a little bit of a thing. I don't know if you saw her, Landon, about a succession plan and how they're already talking about keeping New Glarus around forever. What
Oh,
does that mean?
sure.
We don't know, but they're at least thinking about it, talking about it. So that's going to be, I think that's going to be some news that may come out, eventually. I don't know how soon, but there's a lot of things stirring around New Glarus besides the wonderful beer. I picked up the Imperial Rattler today. Didn't have a
Ooh,
chance to try it in four
Imperial
packs.
Rattler.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, well, it's New Glarus, so I mean, they
Oh
slapped
yeah.
that label on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll give it a roll.
Yeah. Why not?
Great reputation. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we don't have much more on this, but when we get more details,
Yeah. Stay
Chris
tuned.
is not here this month, y'all, but Chris might have something too. We always say, Chris, what's up? And he always has like, some astute thing to say, and we're all like, oh
He's
my goodness.
yeah, he's dialed in. He's
Yeah.
connected.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so we haven't really heard much more about this, but we will let y'all know when we hear more. So I think this is our last piece, which is Roundhouse Beer Garden, Landon.
Yeah.
A
So
place we know pretty well or a little
right.
bit, ready to open for 2024 season. And this is a place we visited last week, but I'll let you take over from here.
I really dig this place. So when we visited last summer, yeah, great little place. I didn't know really what to expect because I had never really visited a beer garden in the States before. So yeah, you go in, there's food. Um, you buy basically the beer in the pint glass. So you keep the pint glass. They don't do dishes there. So yeah, I walked away with 2 pint glasses, which was nice because my kids can't seem to, not break glasses in this house. So we drink out of pint glasses. It's real fancy.
Yeah, we have a little B-roll we'll play here. But it opens next Thursday, it looks like. 5 to 8. And
Yep.
then it looks like it's gonna be open Mondays to Fridays.
Then
But
they'll
we were
have
there on the
music.
weekend, so
Yep.
yeah, music. And so yeah, y'all close, y'all people who are in Milwaukee, y'all know what to do as far as figuring out when they're open and all that. But this is a little hopefully that construction's done, because that was really the only thing that was kind of annoying about that,
Right.
right?
Right. Otherwise, beautiful space. They had games set up out there. You can look off into the lake and the boats, and um, they had umbrellas for you to
Yeah.
sit under, and you can enjoy your
Look at it, the boats are literally coming in.
right.
So nice. So nice.
Yeah, it's
Tranquil,
scenic as hell. It's a great place.
scenic.
Yeah, it's a great place to enjoy a beer and a
Yeah.
little bit of food. Yeah,
Yeah, snacks. And there's that mug that, or there's those glasses you're talking about. Look, you can
yeah,
get some nice fruit there and everything. So
yeah.
um yeah, it's pretty nice at round I always
Roundhouse.
get it wrong. Round table.
Yeah,
Round house. Sorry, round
roundhouse.
house. Right out there in the lake, y'all. So enjoy that. That's a good time, good time, good
Yeah,
time. And then one last one here, updating a news piece that we brought y'all late last year, or was it early this year? It all kind of
tough to
phased to me.
remember. Yeah,
Haze, yeah, but Haven Woods Tap Room and Beer Garden, y'all, officially opens this Friday. Stop in and check out the tap house. Actually, Landon should be doing this, but I'm already halfway through, so we'll
yeah.
figure it
Have it, man.
out. Also announcing the grand opening. So the grand opening is next Friday, but the
Yeah,
soft opening, as they call it, is make sure everything's ready. Friday. So then the next week they're gonna have the food truck, as y'all see there, and band. It's gonna be great. And also, this is so when it comes to beer gardens, like when I hear beer garden, I actually want the garden part of the beer. I don't want this like, it's nice when we can just set up some tents
Right.
and or
Right.
some tables and say, hey, this is a beer garden, come drink. And I'm cool
Right.
with that. I'm good.
Sure.
I'm really good. But it's really, really good. It's really, really fun when the beer garden actually has a garden,
Yeah.
some grass, some trees. And
Yeah.
Milwaukee's has so many of them like that. And it looks like another one because they're gonna have trails. It's right next. It backs up to a big park there. So a lot of people are excited about this. This is a little bit north of Milwaukee here. So man, it's not like Milwaukee needs another beer garden, but y'all gonna get one.
Hey.
So check out their Instagram there, Havenwood STBG, for more details. But because that's where we got these. But yeah, so May 17th. It doesn't say the date on when they're opening. I would suspect maybe 3. Maybe hit them up on IG if you're going to try to get there when they first open. Maybe 3 though, because it says 3 for the next grand opening. So, but yeah, check it out if y'all interested. I'm interested. I know Landon is,
Yeah.
and yeah,
Beer
yeah.
gardens.
So, absolutely, absolutely. So, this is time of our news that we bring on Joel, and Joel's going to tell us what's going on with the breweries in Wisconsin and the latest
Yeah.
news. What's going
Well,
on,
and I
Joel?
was
How
gonna
you
add
doing? Nice to see
just
you. All right.
2 things. It's always good to see you guys too. I mean, I
Good
know
to
I
see you,
talk
Joel.
with I think I talk with you, Greg, all the time too. So it's not like, it's like long time no talk. But anyway, Havenswood is not too terribly far from where I live, actually, and it actually backs up to it's named for Havenswood State Forest is actually kind of what it backs up to, which is I think it's over 200 acres. It's like a huge state forest in the middle of the city of Milwaukee, which is a really interesting little
Yeah.
feature, I guess. And then you were asking me about brewery museums. I know for a fact that Potosi and Minhas both have museums like of beer memorabilia and stuff. I don't know exactly how they compare to what is going to be going on there at the Lincoln Warehouse. But if we need to start tracking that, I'll add that to my to-do list. But anyway, we are on to the brewery report here. And this month, we actually have 2 openings to discuss. So the first one is 1840, and they recently opened up their second location in West Bend, which for those, it's about, 40-ish minutes from downtown Milwaukee, give or take, I guess, depending on traffic and exactly where you're leaving from. But so it's kind of far enough outside of the metro area to kind of really be a new location for them rather than just there are some breweries that have opened up multiple locations in the Milwaukee metro area that are within, 10 to 20 minutes of each other. So this is kind of an interesting new spot for them. There is one brewery in West Bend, but other than that, there really isn't anything between kind of once you kind of leave the metro area all the way up into like towards Oshkosh even. So it's going to hopefully help fill that void there. I'm going to be going up there soon-ish, hopefully. And speaking of going to new breweries, the other one is Bloomer Brewing, and they opened up their second location in Eau Claire. And we actually had boots on the ground for this one. So I will actually let Landon kind of take control here to kind of give his personal experience from his visit.
Yeah, so Bloomer Brewing, as you can see on the outside there, kind of has facing the river there, and then there's a lot of glass, so it faces the bridge that lights up at night.
Oh,
So yeah, so it's right in the heart of downtown Eau Claire. And this building is actually apartments on the top. So it's like all businesses on the bottom, the ground floor, all the other levels are apartment buildings. So further down, there's like a vintage store. There's I think like a record store or something like that. There's some other stuff going in on the other side. Bloomer Brewing's actually, I think we talked about this previously. They're sharing their space with, I think it's called Phoenix Coffee, but basically it's Bohemian Ovens from Bloomer. They're opening up a coffee shop slash food place to get donuts and kolaches and those kinds of things. So I tried to avoid people as much as I could in some of the footage here, but the biggest thing that I thought is that they put in a new tap system that pours from the bottom up.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've seen them before, but not many at breweries.
Right. Yeah, so that's unique. They don't have it quite dialed in yet for all of the beers because it'll maybe pour over for a few of them, but they're getting it figured out. I was surprised that their soft opening was this last Sunday because I think, Friday, Saturday, they were still putting out feelers to get workers. So I thought, wow, there's, they'll probably open up as soon as but they've got people to work, I guess. So they're figuring it out as they go. And Ryan from Bloomer, I talked to him for a little bit, and he was pretty excited about it. So, yeah, good for them. It's a beautiful location. It's a great location down there. Just you might have a hard time finding a place to park because Eau Claire has no parking.
I question the head on the beer thing with those.
I've so since I started working at Lazy Monk again, those of us that like to drink craft beer, right? We like a nice head on our beer because it's opens the flavor up and that's part of drinking beer. There are a lot of people that don't like any foam at all. Period.
That's wild.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I know. I got one guy. I got one guy in particular that complains to no end about head on his beer, and I just go, that's what you're gonna get, buddy.
Let it settle. Let it settle if
Yeah.
you know you're gonna.
So, Landon, you liked a couple things you saw there. Is this the bottom of the glass?
Yeah, that is the bottom of the glass. They have fun with this. So that is a magnet. So when they had to get special glasses. So that magnet keeps the beer in. But if you poke it, obviously from the bottom, your beer is going to come out, and that's bad.
Yeah.
So yeah,
okay.
they set it on there.
Okay, I'm seeing this now. Okay.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And then that magnet just comes back as they lift it up. It sits back down.
When you had a chance to talk with him, did he mention why they decided to move forward with this particular?
No, and he was kind of rushing around.
Yeah, I guess that wasn't necessarily the best time to have an interview set up.
Right.
Yeah.
I hope to ask him. I don't know this for sure, but my guess is the novelty of it. It's kind of a neat thing. People like to see that. It's a very novel thing to watch, and
it's almost like a trick, bring people in at least once that may not, just to come in, they see it being promoted on Instagram, like, oh, I haven't seen a beer being poured like that before in person.
Right.
We're gonna go check out Bloomer this weekend and have a beer that's poured upside down, and it's just.
And for those people that don't like a head on their beer,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Landon, what's the little? Did you get to ask what's that little control panel thing there? You see that?
Yeah. So I think they actually pour little samples too. So I think you have to tell it
how much to pour.
How much to pour?
Because otherwise you just overflow the glass every time.
Right.
So instead of doing the tap handle, you're just hitting, 3 ounces, 8 ounces, 16 ounces.
Right.
All right. Okay, cool.
And those little magnets, if you like them, you can keep them. So I didn't keep
little
mine.
Souvenir.
Yeah.
This thing?
Yeah.
No poking?
Yep.
I'm surprised that they don't reuse. Do they not reuse them?
No, they do reuse them.
Oh,
okay. But I think some people just
Oh, cool.
Bartender said it was cool to take. But
yeah, and then since you were there, you're going to explain this, right?
Yeah.
Same thing.
Same concept applies. It's just a little funnier.
Yeah, because who's going to be the first person that doesn't read the sign and doesn't look at the thing? And it's like, I wonder what happened if I poke at this and just drenches themselves.
Funny thing is I was sitting there with a friend of mine, and I said, that table of older ladies over there, one of them is going to do it. And sure enough, a couple minutes later, one of them did it, and beer all over the table.
Oh, wow.
So
wow, they're going to have a lot of educating.
A lot of educating. The other nice thing is, for those that, especially, it seems to be a thing in Eau Claire too, but for those of us that like to sit at the bar, when you go into a place, you're like, damn, there's no place at the bar. I really wanted to sit at the bar. This is a 4-sided bar almost. It's like 3, and there's just an entryway. Wow. So you can, if you want to sit, if you like to sit at the bar, chances are you'll be able to find a place to sit at the bar there.
That's me.
Yep, me too.
Nice. Okay. Yep. All right. Well, excellent, y'all. And since Chris is not here, I'll say, and that was your, what does he say?
News.
Badger Beer news
for May 2024.
Right.
Yeah, we'll keep working on that.
Chris is way more animated at it. I enjoy it when
he's irreplaceable. We already talked about that. I know.
Yeah.
So we will move on to Brewery Travels now. Thanks, y'all.
Hey, everybody. And we are back with another edition of Badger Beer Travels, where we take a closer look at some of the lesser known beer scenes around our amazing state. I know that at some point we'll dive more into maybe some of the neighborhoods of Milwaukee and Madison, but it's fun to kind of highlight these places that fewer of folks have probably visited or maybe even heard about the breweries. And this month we are going to Superior. And if you are listening, maybe if you're not familiar with the Wisconsin geography and where things are located, Superior is pretty much as far north as you can get. There's a couple towns, I think, that if you go up onto the other little peninsula, you can maybe get a little bit further north, but it is situated right on Lake Superior. It's right across the St. Louis Bay from Duluth. So it's like less than 5 minutes essentially from downtown Superior to downtown Duluth. So they are kind of one small metro area, I guess you could say. Superior in itself is, if you're looking at, if you're watching, you can see on the slide there, the population over 26,000 people. It is bordered by 3 bays and framed by 2 rivers. So water has always played a major part of Superior. Hence, I don't think it doesn't necessarily take a rocket scientist to figure out that Superior is named for Lake Superior. It actually shares a harbor with Duluth, and it is one of the most important ports on the Great Lakes. And unlike, we were talking about some of the other places that we've talked about, whether it's Burlington or Oshkosh, that were kind of more centrally located to different things, Superior's out there a ways. I always like to include kind of frames of reference for how far it takes. If you're coming from Milwaukee, it's going to be a 6-hour drive to get up to Superior. So hopefully it's not a day trip. Even from a place like Eau Claire, which some people consider to be up north, it's about 2.5 hours. So, it is a really beautiful area, though, especially if you're going during the summer months when it's a little bit warmer out, easier to be outdoors. The other things to do I included are both actually across the bay in Duluth. But there's a lot to do there. The Great Lakes Aquarium, I know, is one of the largest freshwater aquariums in the country. The Canal Park area is wonderful to walk around. There's lots of shops and breweries, and we'll touch on that a little bit later. I'm going to highlight a couple of the Duluth area breweries after we discuss the Superior breweries, because that's, after all, what we are here for. So just to kind of give you a kind of lay of the land, we have 2 breweries in Superior, and they are both fairly close to each other, kind of around the main part of the city, Earthrider and Thirsty Pagan. And as I kind of hint there on the map, you're only about 5 minutes across the bridge to get over to Duluth. So not that hard. Like some people might say, oh, you're going out of your way. You know, there's really only 2 breweries there, because outside of that, on the Wisconsin side of the border, you have to drive a ways before you get to any other breweries. But there's a whole bunch in Duluth as well. So you can definitely make a trip out of that, which is what my family did a few summers back. And I was able to visit both of the breweries in Superior as well. And we will start with the older of the 2 breweries, and that is Thirsty Pagan Brewing. They started back in 1996 with a small 2-barrel system and became a full-fledged brew pub in 2006. And they now are up to a 7-barrel system to kind of produce more of their beers. And actually, it was shortly after, it was right around the time, like, I forget, it was months, but it was early on when I visited, is when they had moved to their new location, which is the Sioux Line Depot, which was actually built back in 1908 as a passenger depot by Wisconsin Central Railroad, and then purchased by Sioux Line a year later. Some other fun facts about that: the last passenger service for this depot was in 1967, but it continued to be used as a freight depot until 1989. And I'm not familiar with this movie, but if there's any really big movie buffs out there that are aware of the movie Iron Will, apparently that 1993 movie was filmed, at least partially, here at the Sioux Depot, which is kind of a little fun fact. Besides their beer, they also offer a wide variety of pizzas, calzones, and appetizers. It's got kind of, a laid back, traditional little feel. Greg's saying in the chat here that he remembers that movie. So obviously, to be fair, I was born in 92. So it was kind of, 93 movie. I wasn't really watching movies when I was 1. So, fair point for me. But anyway, they do have some good looking pizza. I did not eat when I went there. I remember that, but I did see pizzas coming out and they looked really good. And they also host live music Wednesday through Sunday every week. So definitely seems like kind of a fun place to be. Pretty typical bar, restaurant-y type of feel. Some of the examples of the beer, if you're looking at the slideshow, you can kind of see listed there. I know some of their flagships include that North Coast Amber Ale and the Derailed Ale, which is a pale ale, as well as the Lawn Chair Cream Ale. And then the India Pagan Ale, which, obviously is just kind of a play on their name. It's their IPA. And they also make a dark ale called Burntwood Black. But they do also kind of, I was looking, at their tap list, they kind of step out of the box a little bit as well. Smokey and the Bandit's a sour ale. So they do get a little experimental with things. But they are, I believe, best known for kind of those traditional styles of beer that they produce. And next up is the relatively newcomer to the Black Earth Rider Brewing, though at this point, they've now been around. I think it's got to be, if it hasn't been 7 years already, it's going to be coming up on 7 years since they opened in 2017. So this is an interesting location because it is 2 separate buildings. I know the picture is a little small, but if you are watching, the bottom right picture there is primarily of their tap room. But if you can kind of look past that, there is a longer building kind of, in the background there, which is their actual production brewery. So the production brewery is located in an 1880s building that was actually constructed as a bakery. And then that building in the foreground is the Cedar Lounge, which is their tap room. And the Cedar Lounge actually dates back to 1912 and was a tied house tavern for Northern Brewing Company. And it is a really neat tap room because it is not, there's only been a couple other breweries. There's one other, there's a couple others that I've been to that have the feel of just like you're a really homey, like kind of like almost like a dive bar type feel, that you just feel, you walk in and you're just like, I just want to hang out here and chill and, talk to people. And it's just a really cool vibe. And a fun fact that I actually learned while I was researching this, because I did not know this, and I think this may be a newer thing. There is an apartment above the tap room there in that building that you can see the windows on the second floor. That is an apartment. And if you go onto VRBO, you can rent that apartment out even for just a couple nights. So if you are going to the Superior Duluth area and you want the shortest possible commute to a brewery, have I got a place for you? Because I even checked it out, looked at the pictures, and yeah, it seems like a pretty cool place. Just kind of, call for a night, because you could just go around to maybe a couple of the spots, end your night at Earth Rider, you know, spend as long as you want to at Earth Rider, because you don't have to worry about going anywhere else, and then walk out the door, walk up the steps to your apartment and call it a night. And they also host a variety. Oh, yeah, see, yeah, Greg knows. Yeah, it's the shortest possible commute. I mean, besides having like a sleeping bag or like a cot in the tap room itself, it doesn't get any better than that. They host a bunch of events. I know live music is big there as well. They have, you know, pretty regular bingo and trivia. They don't have quite the same amount of food, but I know they had, you know, they have some pub pizzas and warm pretzels, some snacks. But now we get into the real good stuff, and that is the beer. And as you can see, if you are looking at the slideshow and seeing what is listed behind these beers, Earth Rider has really made a name for themselves, because they have won a lot of notable awards over the years. The North Tower Stout has won a gold medal at the World Beer Cup, and has also won a silver and a bronze. It has a gold and a bronze from World Beer Cup, and then a silver at GABF. And then they have two other beers that have both won at GABF. Their Duluth Coffee Pale Ale won gold in 2019, and their Royal Bohemian Pilsner won a silver medal at GABF in 2020. So they have numerous beers that have absolutely wowed folks and that have earned these medals. And they have a lot of other really good beers too. You know, their Caribou IPA is kind of another one of their flagship. The Superior Pale Ale is another one of their kind of their go-tos. My personal favorite from my visit was the Tap Shack Caribbean Lager, which I think had a little bit of like lime in there, you know, just your nice, one of those beers that you could have a 6-pack and then all of a sudden you wonder where they all went. Just really, really good stuff. And then they, you know, make a Goza. So they really kind of run the gauntlet with a lot of different things. But yeah, really, really good beer there. I would love it if their distribution kind of widened, you know, to get their name, you know, out to more people. But obviously, I totally get that, you know, why it's not always feasible, and it's difficult, especially when you're up all the way up there in Superior. You know, you're not in a major metro area, but for where they're located and what they're doing, they are doing some phenomenal work. I would love to get back up there, be able to try more of their beers, because they really do an excellent job. And so now kind of a little bonus, because I know we're doing this as Badger Beer Travels, but since you're a stone's throw across the bay from Duluth, I do have to shout out some Duluth breweries, because if you are going up Superior, chances are you're also going to be spending time in Duluth. And in particular, if you're there for beer, you're probably going to be going over to Duluth as well. Because like I mentioned, there's just the 2 in Superior, and there's a whole bunch in Duluth. If you're looking at the slides right now, all the ones I have listed, that is not all of the breweries in Duluth. These are just some that I wanted to highlight, because Duluth is one of my most underrated beer scenes in the country. Both because I think it's kind of a little bit smaller, but has a lot of breweries, and it's just very remote. So, you know, even from the Twin Cities, it's several hours to get to Duluth. So I don't think enough people recognize and realize how many great breweries are up there. But, you know, you have breweries like Bent Paddle, which is, I know, has won, you know, Minnesota has some different beer awards, and they've won different brewery awards and brewery brackets and that kind of stuff. And Ursa Minor, I would say Bent Paddle and Ursa Minor are probably my 2 favorite within the city of Duluth. And those are both just south of downtown, located really close to each other. And then you get to the Canal Park area. And if you're looking at that little map that I made, that's where that kind of grouping of breweries are, where within a few blocks, you have Hoops Brewing, you have Canal Park Brewing, which has the best view of any of the breweries in Duluth. It is located right on Lake Superior. They have huge windows, and they also have an outdoor area that backs right up to the lake, as well as the historic Fitger's Brew House, which is, you know, really good food, some good beer there as well. And then if you walk just a few blocks inward to downtown, Blacklist Brewing, they make some excellent beers, in particular the Belgian styles I loved. And then the other brewery that I wanted to highlight is actually half an hour further north. But if you're in Duluth, what's another half an hour? And that is Castle Danger Brewing in Two Harbors. Arguably maybe my favorite brewery in all of Minnesota. Their cream ale, their pale ale. They have started to do a little bit more with kind of some more interesting experimental stuff. But for the most part, they are well known for making 2-style beers across a variety of styles that are just right on the button, whether it's an amber ale, pale ale, like I mentioned, the cream ale, they're stout. There's not a whole lot. They're not added in frou-frou funky ingredients. What you order is what you get, and they just do it exceptionally well. So yeah, that's just a little bonus. I know when I was talking to Greg about including this, we may do a deeper dive into Duluth at some point, because we may expand this, do a Badger Beer Travels, and also kind of highlight some brewery scenes that are within, a quick drive of Wisconsin, but wanted to highlight it since we were already up here. So, we are going to go here, and I just also, this is what I was looking for, my other slide from before when we were talking about, let me pull up here since we're going to highlight what's not there. When we were talking about the Badger beer report, one thing I wanted to mention to folks again is that if you have any information on breweries openings or closings, feel free to message us. Let us know about that. But otherwise, always a joy to get a share of another beer scene with everyone listening and following along. I already have next month's planned out. Really excited to share that one as well. And as always, whether it's where you are living or where you are visiting, be sure to drink local everywhere.
Quick note here. I think we might have got our signals crossed with our interview with Tim Sullivan, so I don't think we'll be able to bring that to y'all tonight, but we will try to do that in the future in some way, somehow, some form. But until then, Landon, we have enough to talk about with what the hell is going on.
We've got events, man.
As the story goes, y'all, I don't know how many of y'all have been here forever with us, and forever meaning 4 years. We started in the pandemic, and we didn't even have an event. There was no events. The events were go and get your beer and be safe about it.
That's about it.
Right. And,
yeah,
support your local brewery and make sure that they have some love and all that. And, it seems like we did a bunch, because we lost some, but we didn't lose, as many as I thought we were going to be honest with you. But,
right.
With that being said, we have a whole bunch tonight to talk about, y'all.
Yeah.
I think this is the first one we have, Landon, right?
Yeah, it is. This
weekend?
One's actually, this weekend, May 18th. This will be from 1 to 4. It's at the Chippewa Area Ice Arena in Chippewa Falls, which is in my neck of the woods. They do this, so they have sort of an outdoor rink that they do this in now. It's covered, so if there's weather or whatever, if it's raining, you're still good. But so there's a lot of beer, food, music, games, silent auction, and raffle items. They mentioned on there, they suggest bringing a vehicle with plenty of space for your winnings. So I kind of have a history with this beer fest. We ended up winning, and by we, I mean my wife and I. One year we ended up winning a Pabst reversible sleeping bag, a big gift basket from New Glarus, a bottle of Utopias, and there was something else in there, and we spent $20. So
for the raffle,
yeah. Bought one of my wingspans, so it's a long. If you've never seen me in person, I'm tall-ish, but my arms reach quite a ways. So, yeah, it was a pretty good deal. I had a friend that won a wheelbarrow of liquor, just various liquors last year. So. It's a good time, good place to go and win a bunch of stuff, and it's for it benefits the youth hockey in Chippewa Falls. So
yeah, I was gonna say this is the benefit one that you go to every year. or you go to a lot. Yep.
Yeah.
Now I remember it. Yes. So and that's only $40, y'all. It's not that,
Yeah. Pretty good deal.
Looks like 4 hours. It looks like 4 hours, 1 to 4, so 3 hours. That's a good.
And
enough
they've got buses running from, I believe, Ambibulous Brewing in Altoona, and then one other place. So if you don't feel like you should be driving over there, and you probably shouldn't be driving over there, hop on the bus.
Shout out to those hours too. Like in the middle of the afternoon, enough time to get your drunk, buzzed butt home for dinner.
Sober up a little bit,
then,
and maybe hit it again.
Yeah, you know how sometimes the wife or the significant other is like, "You're going to a brewery fest for 8 hours? What are you going to do for 8 hours?" So it's only 3, honey. It's
only
cool.
3. The 3 is plenty. Trust me.
And it's for a good cause.
It's for a good cause. That's right.
It's like that's like when the significant others go out and they're like, "Well, it was a sale, so I had to buy it." Well, it's a sale. This is a beer sale. It's only $40. Helps the kids.
That's right.
Yeah. So shout out to Northwest Beer Fest. This is Saturday. This is Saturday, so that should be
this Saturday. Yeah. And they'll do, if you're not one of those people that likes to buy tickets in advance, you can walk up and get a ticket. It may cost you an extra $5 or whatever, but not a big deal.
Good times.
Yeah.
Noted. So,
all right.
This one is
Frothy Forage. Yeah, beer, wine, and cider festival. It's also coming up this weekend. There again, we just talked about good hours. So 12 to 4 p.m.
I like it.
This is at the River Edge Nature Center in Saukville. Tickets are $50 online or $55 at the door.
Okay.
So they showcase local breweries, wineries, cideries in the stunning natural setting of the River Edge Nature Center. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say the venue here is probably pretty dope.
Yeah. All proceeds support River Edge's mission of connecting people to nature throughout environmental education and conservation in southeastern Wisconsin.
There we go. Go. $55 online, $55 at the door, y'all. Good cause. And so that's a good one. Covering the whole state here this month, y'all.
Right.
So then I don't know. We have the 33rd annual Micro Brew Fest.
I was gonna say I've never heard about this one, but it's been going on for 33 years this year. So it must be a hell of a
They're doing something right.
That's
and they're
right.
Doing something right.
And it's hosted by Roland's Calumet Brewing Company. I haven't heard of that one either.
I haven't heard of that one either.
Yep. Happening at the county fairgrounds in Chilton. Joel's heard of Roland's Calumet, but
I was going to say Joel has, of course.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway,
so they host this every May. It's at, like I said, it's at the fairgrounds. 30 or more Wisconsin breweries will be there, and 100 or more types of micro brews. We don't really refer to it as micro brews anymore, except for older people. But I kind of dig that. That's how long it's been going on that they still call it that. So it's good. Looks like a great time.
Yeah, and being around 33 years, they ain't changing their ways, so they're good.
No, and I don't blame them.
Amen to that. And as y'all can see here, there's a bunch there. A&P, Cocoon, which is one of my short lists up there in Green Bay. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of that one, and I know Joel has. Don't even comment, Joel. Titletown, Vintage, also Round Man.
Some of the ones that you don't get to see very often, like Round Man out of Spooner, Sand Creek. Yeah,
what's Craft Creek? I have no idea. So, good times.
Yeah.
Good times. So, there's
bring your own lawn chairs.
Bring your own lawn chairs. No grills, no carry-ins,
and no tickets sold at the door.
Yeah, so you got to get that earlier. Look at that, festival shirts, other brewery memorabilia. It sounds like a really, really good time, y'all.
Yeah,
I mean, this is Sunday, right?
Yeah, this is on a Sunday. It's
and that's a little strange for us because we're used to the Saturday, beer fest,
Right.
Sunday rest day. But
Right.
I don't know, y'all do what
Hey,
y'all got to do. And
if they've been
there's no
doing it for
football, so
33 years, just keep her
amen to
going,
that.
you know?
Amen to that. So now we'll go off of our script here and we'll get to this one here, which is Urban Harvest is having their 8th anniversary block party, Landon. On this is Saturday, so we kind of jumped ahead. But there's a gut food truck there. You can see the menu over there on the side there. They're gonna have bands, just your normal anniversary festival. It doesn't say here, but I'm sure they wouldn't be a brewery if they didn't have any special anniversary beer and special beers for all that. So it just wouldn't be a brewery. Like, I'm sorry, Urban Harvest, if y'all don't have any special beers on your birthday, I don't know what we need to tell you to do. So show up for that. I'm sure there's something special going on. Yeah, so that sounds like fun. Bands like your normal yard games, all that. Hopefully y'all get good weather for that this weekend. I don't know what the weather is. I haven't checked it, but it's Wisconsin, so you never know.
Right.
So yeah, there's that. Or shout out to Urban Harvest though for their 8th anniversary. Good times. So also, man, why does everything happen in one weekend, Landon?
I don't know.
It's a little bit last time, but since it's and we wanted to give y'all a little bit of a heads up because it was already sold out. One of the slots was sold out last year, but
Right.
those Honor Flight May 18th extravaganza run and fun and all kinds of things going on from 11 to 3. So you're running, so you want to get up a little early and get that run out you so you can get some burn some calories for the beer for the rest of the afternoon. And I think so as it shows here, I did this a couple days ago. You can see y'all the first slot for the run is sold out. And when I did this about a week ago, there was 160 slots left. So I'm not sure how much are left, but I'm pretty sure there probably still some for that second slot to run y'all between 12 and 1. So if y'all want to do that, you can see you can go to Oso's website. Also, we put the link up there. I don't know how y'all can grab that. Maybe y'all can see that or pause and see that. But so Oso's Honor Flight. If y'all don't know what Honor Flight is, real quick, it's a charity that sends that helps veterans get to they take them to Washington D.C. and they go to all the memorials and they just do something for our veterans, and it's a really nice reunion thing for them, and it's a nice camaraderie thing and all that. So little hat tip to our veterans, they don't have to pay for anything. And it looks like they're making some special beers here for it, and they raised last year they raised 13,000. And that was up from 8,000 the year before. So I get 20 this year, y'all. So I'm pretty sure. Look for the details. You probably don't even have to run or walk. You can probably just give money if you just love the idea of that. And I love the idea of that. I don't know why anybody wouldn't. So that is this weekend, y'all. And that's in Plover, which is Stevens Point area. So Honor Flight, y'all. Check it out.
Very cool.
We'll go back to our thing, which is put on by our friends at the Wisconsin Brewers Guild. We are now into June, y'all. And this is one of Wisconsin's bigger festivals, Landon.
Yeah. Wisconsin Beer Lovers Festival. Like you said, Saturday, June 1st from noon to 5 in Glendale. 65 general admission, $80 for the VIP. So I've never done VIP at one of these, but that seems to be pretty consistent. It's between $80 and $120 or something like that for most of those. So this benefits Feeding America Eastern Wisconsin. So they'll have food, beer, of course, more than 60 craft breweries from across the state, local restaurants, cuisine partners, food trucks, live bands, and so much more. Your ticket includes free beer, food samples, live music, mingling with craft brewmasters and fellow enthusiasts.
Yeah, a lot of fun. 880 for the VIP. I suspect it's noon to 5, so you probably get in a little early. Again, love those hours. Glendale is where again, Landon?
I didn't grow
north,
up here,
right?
So sure.
Oh, I was going to say, since it's north, you should know it. And if it's south, I should know.
No, it's down. It's
Oh.
down.
One
It's
of
down
our
Milwaukee.
peoples lives
It's
in
down
there.
down by Milwaukee.
Oh, it's Milwaukee. Duh.
Yeah.
So it's Milwaukee. Great. Perfect.
Joel lives in Glendale. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not north. Our geography here is off.
North of Milwaukee proper. But
there we go. There we go. Yeah, and this is put on by a friend at the Wisconsin Brewers Guild. We had the president on 2 months ago. So
yeah,
good times for that. And it's every year. I think they skipped 2 years for the pandemic. So it's good to see that one is back. So and lastly, certainly not least, is this one, Lynn.
Up North Beer Fest. So this is actually up north by me.
This is north. We got that right. Yeah.
Yeah, Eagle River. So this is a 2-dayer, which most people are confused by, but this happens on a campground. So this will be on Friday, June the 7th and Saturday, June 8th at High Pines Campground in Eagle River. So premier beer night is on Friday the 7th. And then everything else is on June 8th. So premier beer night, if you want to do that, feature special beer from 16 participating breweries that will only be available that night. So it's like a VIP red carpet, as much as a red carpet as you can get on a campground.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it goes from 6 to 8 and includes heavy hors d'oeuvres. And then the main event the next day goes from 2 to 6. They'll have 30 breweries from Wisconsin and the Midwest. So I didn't see what other ones that they have outside of Wisconsin, but anyway, you'll get a sampling glass that you get to keep, a beer guide to find breweries at the festival. There will be live music, foods available to purchase, which will the food will benefit Eagle River Veterans Resource Center, which is nice. So this is kind of a what I would consider a beer fest for beer drinkers that maybe aren't so much into craft beer. They like the idea of craft beer, but they're not like really into it. So because they call out lesser known breweries like Third Space Brewing. So yeah. But it's a good time. People from the north are a little different. I like those people. They're great.
Sure.
Yeah.
And I'm sure up there, Third Space is lesser known. Down here, Third Space is big.
Yeah. They still have Line and Kugels come to this beer fest. So that kind of gives you an idea of.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. But Tribute, so Eagle River actually has their own brewery called Tribute Brewing. I've never been there, but yeah.
Cool.
Fun time.
All right.
I've known people that have gone. They said they had a great time. So if you like camp, that would be a great place to go. Joel says tribute good stuff. So if you haven't tried them,
says here's a little detail I thought was interesting. No children or pets or carriers. Yeah. Well, no carriers, but no children or pets.
Yeah.
And as someone who has children, and I know you do too. I mean, we all do on this cast outside of Chris, or actually we all do.
Yeah.
I'm cool with no children beer events. I'm cool with it. I mean, I got children. It's not that I don't love children, but I'm cool with when people say, "Hey, no kids."
Right.
I can
not
find
a great
babysitter.
Not a great place for kids anyway. So
right. Some places aren't. Right. Some kids aren't kid friendly, and sometimes people need to be told that up front, like no kids.
Agreed.
No dogs. Respectfully, love the dogs. And again, I mean, most people love dogs, but like sometimes not appropriate. So it kind of sets the feel of like what kind of things are going to be going on up there up north beer fest. So y'all have a good time. That should be fun. Good times.
Absolutely.
Also, there seems to be a theme too, Landon, with all these, which is a charity aspect. It seems like tied with every single one of them, and that's great. And we want to see that.
Absolutely.
So on June 9th down here in Madison, we have the 2024 Brews Cruise. It's Delta Beer Lab and Starkweather Brewing Company. So on Sunday, June the 9th, they will take a loop around one of our wonderful lakes here in Madison. It's from 1 to 5. You choose which brewery you start. You stop for a beer at the other brewery, and you make the loop. And you stop. You Team Delta or Team Starkweather, and yeah, so $35. I believe there's a cause here, but I don't see it. But you go to the Delta Beer Store for more information and or to register. Or if you're in Madison, you go to either one. I'm pretty sure they can help you figure it out there too. So that's June 9th, 1 to 5. Get out and get some exercise in before you drink them beers. And lastly, Landon, one of my favorite events of every year is the anniversary party for Three Sheeps, one of my favorite beer companies in the state. They have, the next slide shows that when you go to buy the anniversary beers, I think they're all sold out. There wasn't anything. I couldn't buy any of them, which I was disappointed. Yeah. So Three Sheeps, in my opinion, has one of the best barrel age programs, if not the best. It's kind of hard to beat out Central Waters, respectfully.
Right.
And it's really, and Lakefront is so tough themselves, even though they only, Lakefront, they drop the Black Friday and Runaway almost, it seems like, with the barrel age, if that makes sense.
Yep.
But Three Sheeps is right up there with the Wolf series. So they're turning 12, y'all. The last 12 years it would have been possible. We had the owner on talking about how it was tough for them to get through the pandemic. So they have a birthday bash. I don't know if you've ever been to Three Sheeps. Nice, big outdoor, indoor area, big barn, not barn, but like where they open up the windows and they can open up the doors and let the air in, and they got a tent out, and it's just real nice. And they have, all kinds of food trucks, friendly staff, live music, bottle share, everything, y'all.
Nice.
So check out their website. Again, maybe there's still some anniversary beers here, but if not, still a great time. I still might make it up there for that one. That's the one that I'm most likely to make out of all of them. Is the Three Sheeps anniversary party. So I'll know more about that next month when we get closer. But wait, let's see. Hold on. When is that again? Yeah. Okay. So it's Saturday, June 15th, and the next Badger Beer Hour is June 19th, y'all. So check my social media for me. Maybe I'm gonna try to get up there. Actually, I try to get up there every year, but you know how it is, family man, and summer weekends are just so yeah, and everything happens on the same weekend too. You know what I'm saying? Like it seems like there's like 4 events the same weekend. So that, y'all, is our events. There are probably so many more that we didn't even get to, but those are the biggest ones that we found. A lot of them have charities involved, so we're happy about that. And on that note, Landon, we will get to the last call here.
Okay.
So awesome time. The events, man, again, hit one of them, y'all. Do something. It's going to be fun. Great, beautiful weather. And our brewery fact checker joins us. It's Joel. You're on mute, Joel. We can't hear you.
I was gonna say I have an unhealthy obsession. I can't help it. Can't help myself. That's just I wouldn't be Brewery Travels if I wasn't like that, though. So I can't.
True.
That's just how I am.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, we're all beer travelers, but man, you take it to the next level. But thinking about taking it to the next level, Joel, you have some things you want to tell us about.
Yeah. So we just officially started a Badger Beer Hour Twitter account, and that, along with the Instagram account, I am hoping to kind of turn these two places so you can kind of see there for both of them at Badger Beer Hour, both the same handle, so shouldn't have any problem finding us. I'm hoping to kind of turn into the place for people to find brewery events going on, and because obviously we touch on the big stuff here. We're talking about festivals and anniversary parties, but we're not highlighting when the live music, like the actual live music things, when a brewery is doing special releases and a host of other different types of things that are happening at breweries every single week, and like golf outings, all that kind of stuff. And I am hoping to turn these accounts into kind of a one place for people to find that kind of information where, hey, I want to know kind of what's going on. If I follow these accounts, if I see a brewery I recognize pop up, maybe it has something that I want to go partake in, whether it's at the brewery or somewhere else. On Twitter, it's going to be retweeting posts, although a majority of breweries are far more active on Instagram. And so in that case, if you follow us on Instagram, if you're not, you should. And once you are following us on Instagram, the stories aspect is something that is going to be utilized a lot to share these different events for breweries. So that way you can kind of go through them. Every day is going to have different stories for different brewery events. So that way you can go through and find if there's any breweries close to you having any kind of, releases, whether it's, a special beer, whether it's, a bingo night, whether it's live music. There's tons of different events happening at breweries all over the state, pretty much, if not every day, for sure. Like every weekend, there's a ton of stuff going on. And so that is one thing that, we're really going to start promoting and pushing. And we'll still continue to share our own stuff too. I mean, obviously in terms of the posting, I know we've shared whenever one of us visits different breweries around the state, or does a different events, or just has a really good beer that we want to share. We do that stuff too. But obviously this whole thing is about promoting Wisconsin beer and Wisconsin breweries. And so we want to make sure that we are doing that. Greg, I don't know if there's anything else you wanted to add to the social media stuff.
No. And I shout out to you for for lack of a better word, pushing us to start the Twitter. So that's
yeah,
good
just
times.
well, I like Twitter. That's where I do a lot of my stuff. So I like doing the Twitter. It's so easy to navigate between accounts anyway. So easy to kind of help promote all the different sides of the coin there.
Yep. So Joe's going to be big on our Twitter and our Instagram. So that's great. Also, you'll be able to catch this stream on Spotify. You can do video, you can do audio there, and that's that too. So yeah, Joel, anything going on in brewery travels outside of Badger Beer Hour?
This month, not in particular. Well, I guess this past month I did go down. I visited some new breweries in Iowa, and then also went down and visited the breweries in Rock County. If you were following me, I know later on, a few months down the line, we may be able to do a Badger Beer Travels to Rock County there's 4 breweries there around the Beloit and Janesville area. All had very unique experiences there, so that was really cool. But otherwise, yeah, I have Alaska coming up at the end of June, but we'll be doing the show again before we go to that, so don't have to dive too much into that. Right. Yeah.
Landon, anything going on with Taproom Trap?
Yeah, just I talked to Ryan briefly. So hopefully we'll set up a video at Bloomer Brewing. And then I was out in Rapid City for about 36 hours. So I got to go to Hate Camp Brewing and their new space out there. Really good beer. Had a really good Kolsch. Yeah, so back in my home state for about 36 hours. It was fun.
Well, excellent. And so I'll be headed to Barrow and Flow this year, y'all. August 10th. That's the same day that Joel will be headed to the Great Taste of the Midwest. So we will be covering 2 different things here. So hopefully Joel will get us some. We'll talk about the Great Taste though. Talk about the Great Taste. What am I doing? We'll talk about the Great Taste.
You're the one that's talking. You got to be on the big screen.
Yeah. Actually, I'm supposed to play a video here, y'all. But let's work on that here. But yeah. So Joel's going to go to the Great Taste. I'm going to Bar and Flow. I have to pull up. I'm working on it here. I went to I did the last week was the Great Taste ticket sales. So I went out to all of them. I actually made it.
Good for
That
you.
was fun. Yeah, I got up at 8, kind of early. But I wanted to make them all before they all sold out. I just wanted to see what's going on. So here's a little bit of a so that was Carbon 4, Tent City. I sped it up a little bit. Look at all these tents, y'all.
That's
It was
crazy.
It was wild.
Wow.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that was the only place that you could tent out this year. This is the Malt House. Kind of low, but after I left here, more people had come in there. But that's the Malt House. So they had the least amount of tickets there. Delta, as you can see, y'all, was really packed. I mean, that's all people in there. Inside, they had a whole bunch of people going on. There was a lot of things moving there. There's Speedy and Pios right behind that guy right there. So the owners were there. This was a cider farm, y'all, over by Brennan's on the west side. Pretty decent size, but there's a lot of people in the bar there too. So the bar was open. Everybody's just out there having fun, man, and just chilling, trying to get the tickets. Then we go to Vintage here. I don't have much footage. Everybody was in the bar eating and drinking by the time I got there. This is Working Draft. They had a nice crowd there. Many people were inside too. A lot of these places opened up in the morning. And then one of our favorites, Giant Jones, they had a nice crowd there. And so it was a really good time, y'all. It was fun doing it, covering it, seeing all the different things going on. It's I think was it Joe? I told y'all like it's kind of, to me, it's kind of like the NFL draft where it's not the main event and it's not what everybody's for, but it's still something that everybody like, you know what I mean? It's just still high participation, high.
It's an event in of itself.
Yeah, it's an event off the event, and it's just like so everybody had a really good time. And then we had the lottery too, right after that. So we will be having more coverage. Joel and Draws will be at the Great Taste. Draws is always there. This will be Joel's first time.
No, I have gone before, but this is my first time with being able to go as like technically a media member. So it will be a new experience.
Well, what does Spider-Man say? With great responsibility comes something.
comes way too much beer. So I think that's the quote. So
that's what that is.
Yeah,
Otherwise, Friday stream, we have a certified Cicerone on. Her name is Rachel, and Doug and I will have some fun with Rachel this Friday, talking beer, and having someone who knows more about beer than us is always great. And outside of that, y'all, I want to thank y'all for contributing to another great Badger Beer Hour. Chris will be back soon. But until then, we got it mixed up with our guests, so I don't know what Chris would have done tonight. So that's good he had off. Other than that, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. The next Badger Beer Hour is, what did I say? June 19th. Kind of a little late in the it's one of those late months, so got a little time for that. Joel did not tell us where we're going to be traveling next month, so we'll leave that tease out there. Y'all can check for we'll have the replay. If y'all missed the replay, y'all could always check it out on any of the timelines. But also we will replay the events segment probably tomorrow. We'll replay Badger Beer Travels next week, and we'll replay the whole thing on Saturday, the whole Badger Beer Hour. So in case y'all missed it on Wednesday, we'll have some restraints here. Shout out to everybody on Joel's timeline this month. A lot of people watching there, so we want to thank y'all for that. Any final notes, y'all?
I was gonna say, if you want to tease it's not going to be Eau Claire, but we're going to be really close to kind of Landon's neck of the woods up there. Is going to be the plan for Badger Beer Hour. So I may have to have a little tag team set up where maybe he can jump in on with some additional notes for some breweries.
There we go, y'all.
Cool.
So there you go. There's a little tease, y'all. And on that note, we will see y'all June 19th. And until then, hit us on any of the social medias. Hit us at badgerbeerhour@gmail.com. And yeah, we'll see y'all soon. Hopefully the website will be up next month. Goal. But until then, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all those wonderful things. We'll see y'all. Y'all have a great start of the summer. This is beer time in our wonderful state. Time to be out. All those wonderful beer gardens opening up near Joel. All these other wonderful beer things going on. So y'all enjoy it, man. We've come a long way since we started, Landon. I keep saying it.
I know.
But, we've come a long way. It feels back, but we still need to support our breweries wholeheartedly,
100%.
especially the ones that you love and all that. So on that note, I'm done being long-winded. We'll see y'all next month. Cheers.